Hello and good afternoon and welcome to Thursday's Travel Talk with Travel Time. For anyone who's joining us for the very first time, Travel Time is a full-service travel agency with locations in the US and Canada. We've received numerous awards over more than a decade in the industry. We've organized these series of live broadcasts to bring our audience important and reliable information about what's going on in the travel world today. With all of that said, today we're excited to welcome and thank Karolin from Jade Mountain Resort in St Lucia. Hello, Karolin, and welcome.
Hi, Lois. Thank you for inviting me today, together with my team, Andreas Negele, our general manager, Yasha Troubetzkoy, my son, and Elaine Carnegie, who is our fantastic representative in Canada. So I'm going to do a little bit of screen share. What we'll do is we'll start with a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation, and then Andreas will actually show you live from the property one of our suites, and then Yasha will also show you the beach at Anse Chastanay. Can you see my slides? Do you see the whole screen or?
No, I see all of the slides. So you just need to double click, I think.
Okay. Let me see how I
pinpoint the first one.
Hang on a second. Resume share. No, that's not
click slideshow.
Let me stop the share again and start again. Hang on.
Just click slideshow. I think we'll do it.
Yeah, let's start like this.
And I will say that my whole team has had the pleasure of visiting your resort in St. Lucia, and it was definitely a very much a highlight of the entire experience of what we got to see while we were there.
Right. You're still not seeing my screen, right?
You just need to click slide share.
Let's see if no, it still hasn't worked. Resume share. 1 second. Yeah. Use slideshow. Let me see. Is that work now? That should have worked, right?
Yes, that's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so let me start again. You introduced me already. I'm Karolin Troubetzkoy. My husband Nick and I are the owners of two beautiful resorts in St. Lucia called Anse Chastanay and Jade Mountain. We are in the southwest corner of St. Lucia near our famous Piton Mountains. And our property, our two resorts are directly adjoining with Anse Chastanay on the lower hillside and Jade Mountain sitting directly above. This is another angle where you appreciate that the properties are adjoining. And I always point that out because sometimes when clients book, for example, Jade Mountain on top of the hillside, they don't understand that they're so close to the beaches and facilities and activities that the sister property Anse Chastanay has to offer. Altogether, we are in a 600-acre property that belongs to us, stretching over 2 valleys and giving us the advantage of 2 beaches. We are also the only property in St. Lucia that has a private helipad. So when you arrive at the International Airport Hivanora, you have the option of going to the properties by land taxi, which takes 60 minutes, or fly by helicopter, which takes 6 minutes. We reopened in July, and the whole island did actually. And of course, not all properties opened at the same time, but we did open in July. And in the meantime, the majority of our airlift has come back. We are very pleased that Air Canada has now also started flying again from Toronto. And from
we're very happy to see that happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of celebration.
I had a special reason to be excited because my son and my daughter-in-law had their first son, my first grandchild, and the grandchild was born in Toronto, so I was waiting for them to come back home, and now they're home. So I'm very happy about that. So from the United States, we have back again JetBlue from Boston and JFK Airport. We have United Airlines flying from Newark and Chicago. And American is flying from Miami year-round, but also in the winter season, Chicago. And they also have flights from Philadelphia and Charlotte. And Delta serves us from Atlanta. Here are just some snapshots to give you a feel for the property. This is the Anse Chastanay Beach. And as I mentioned, the beaches are connected, so you can actually walk from one beach to the next, which is something I love doing. I can get an easy walk in there of 5 miles. I explain to you why. I first walk over to the second beach of Ans Mamin. And in the valley behind the second beach here are over 12 miles of our own hiking and biking trails. And you see the remains of an old 18th century estate. It's fantastic to walk around. There's even bird watching. Our guides have been trained to take our guests bird watching if they're interested. And not only that, there's also customized mountain biking trails there, and you can rent Cannondale mountain bikes from us. Anse Chastanay itself has 49 rooms. Anse Chastanay is a property that has always celebrated the authentic Caribbean. It's very colorful. There is a lot of art. For the last 35 years, I've curated our art collection. We have artists from all over the world that painted for us. And of course, also all of our local artists have contributed. And so it's a fantastic, colorful property celebrating Caribbean art and culture. And the rooms have all been individually designed. 37 are on a hillside, 12 are at beach level. You can see how spacious they are. This is a hillside deluxe room. The hillside rooms are not air conditioned because we are on a hill and it has really some fantastic natural breezes coming through so that you're always very comfortable inside these rooms. The top category on the hillside at Anse Chastanay are our premium rooms. What I'm showing you here is an open wall room. And this is a very popular category for the few. And it also, I have to say, was the catalyst when we built Jade Mountain, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. There are 12 rooms that are located at beach level in addition to the 37 hillside rooms. These are air conditioned because the breeze is not the same at beach level. And then I should mention that Anse Chastanay not only takes adults, but also children from age 10 in the winter, age 6 in the summer. And we have a number of one-of-a-kind interconnecting 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom suites that you should ask us about when you book. For a small property, we give you a lot of choices for dining. You have a seafood-inspired restaurant. We even have an entirely vegan restaurant. And I should say that our chefs do an amazing job with all of these various dietary requests that most guests have these days. And when it comes to fresh produce, we get our fresh produce from our organic farm, which our guests can also visit. In addition, we also have restaurants at beach level. We have a beach grill with simple grilled fare, but also very exciting East Indian solution fusion restaurant called Apsara. Our guests love the private beach dining opportunities. There is 2 beaches, as you know, and so there's different setups. And in addition to that, the resort has a number of activities that belong to the property. For example, we have our own sailing vessel, the Susie Q, that you can charter with a crew for half-day, full-day, or sunset sailing. It can be done in a group or also privately. We have non-motorized water sports. So because we're in a marine reserve, you don't see us offering jet skis or anything noisy. It's nice and quiet, but we have lots of non-motorized equipment. By lucky coincidence, we are virtually surrounded by all of the island's coral reefs, and they start right offshore. So it's a fantastic property at Anse Chastanay and Jade Mountain to go snorkeling or scuba diving. We own and operate our own scuba operation, Scuba St Lucia. We have a full schedule with boat and beach diving daily, even night diving. So if you are a diver or if your clients are divers, this is the property to consider. The diving in St Lucia is exceptional, and we have a lot of clients at Anse Chastanay that come specifically for the diving. We also have 2 yoga instructors on the team. We offer complimentary yoga. And we are near all of the island sightseeing attractions. And the majority of them are open again and can be visited, for example, the mud baths, to just name one of them. Now, I'm going to give you a little overview of Jade Mountain. And remember, once I'm done, our general manager, Andreas, will show you one of the suites live from Jade Mountain, and my son, Yasha, will walk the beach with you. So Jade Mountain. Jade Mountain has been created really by my husband, Nick. He's the architect that designed it, and he also built it. It is more sculpture than hotel structure in the traditional sense. And when you arrive at Jade Mountain, and Andreas will let you see that, you first have, you see the back of the building and you have to cross over your own individual bridge to get to the entrance door of your suite. And then the door opens and you see your suite for the first time. We call these suites sanctuaries. There are only 29 sanctuaries at Jade Mountain. And what we are famous for is really this amazing view of our Piton Mountains through the completely open wall. So all of these suites have open walls, and 24 out of the 29 suites also have private pools. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're in your bed or whether you are sitting on the couch or whether you are in your pool, you're always one-on-one with the view. And as you can see, these are not plunge pools. These pools are up to 900 square feet in size, so that you can, in fact, swim laps, or if you like, I guess we can teach you how to scuba dive. It's an adults only property, so we have a lot of couples there. I keep joking that I have seen an increase in single bookings, and I think that's all the folks that were locked up maybe with the wrong partner for too long that are coming out to celebrate themselves in style. So we, of course, also take singles, but it is an adults only property. There are different categories at Jade Mountain. What you should remember is simply the higher the rate, the daily rate at Jade Mountain, usually the bigger the pool and the bigger the suite. But for the sake of argument now, this is a star. That's what we call the smallest pool sanctuary, but you can see how spacious these sanctuaries are. So even the smallest, in quotation mark, sanctuary would be over 1,450 square feet in size, and the smallest pool would be over 450 square feet. The sanctuaries have all been individually designed to have different pool tile colors. These tiles are glass tiles made from recycled glass. A lot of attention to detail. You see that even the wooden hardwood floors have been made from different tropical hardwoods, all of which, of course, have been sustainably harvested. This is one of my favorite sun sanctuaries. It has a red tile pool. When my husband showed me this tile, I said, "You're insane. I've never heard of a red pool," but it's now become my favorite pool. And you appreciate here that you also have bathtubs with a view. These are all couples tubs. And just like the rest of the sanctuary, you have a fabulous view when you are in your tub with your loved one or by yourself. The top category are the galaxies. These are, there's only 3 of them at Jade Mountain, and they are the highest level on the western side of the building. And therefore, they don't only have these amazing Piton views, but also stunning sunset views. The pools have all been heated, so it's very nice and warm, and guests have said they can stay in their pools forever, just gazing at the view. The service team at Jade Mountain is led by the butlers. That's a pre-COVID picture. And here we have the new normal. We stand further apart, as do our guests, and we wear face masks. Other than that, I would like to say that the service or the guest experience has not really changed at Jade Mountain. Our guests have always come to Jade Mountain to get away from it all. They have come there, I would say, to almost naturally isolate. We have joked before COVID that guests have checked in and we didn't see them come out of the sanctuary for 5 days at a time. So that hasn't changed. And I think that it is a beautiful property under these current circumstances. You are looked after, your team of butlers, and it is totally up to the guests to decide with how many other team members or guests they want to interact. Even though we can offer you all meals in the sanctuary, there is a beautiful restaurant, the Jade Mountain Club, that our guests can visit for all their meals. And the terrace on top of the club, the Celestial Terrace, has been used by several bachelor series finales with the Red Rose proposal. I'd like to say that the more natural proposals, when actual guests propose to each other, they usually have a more happy ending. And there is a lot of proposals up on this terrace. Guests can, of course, also dine at Aunt Chastanay. I have shown you the restaurants there. Remember, the properties are adjoining. So it's an easy stroll down the hill for Jade Mountain guests. Or if they like, we, of course, have resort shuttles, but everything is within walking distance. And this is the second beach of Anselm Inn set up for private dinner. I mentioned we have this farm that guests can visit. It's about 20 minutes away. Here we also offer cooking classes, and we show our guests our 2,000 cocoa trees that belong to the property. And guess what? We make our own chocolate. So guests can come back to Jade Mountain and go to the chocolate lab, and we teach them how to make chocolate. If you're not a chocolate fan and you don't like to eat chocolate, we also have chocolate infused ale beer. And we use the chocolate in the spa, so you can also have it slathered all over you. Take your pick. We mentioned the yoga instructors. They're also, of course, at Jade Mountain with Sunrise Yoga. And we have a beautiful boutique spa at Jade Mountain. And there's a spa, of course, at Anne-Chastenay, so our guests can be spoiled. All these services are available. And if guests are interested in our sustainability story, we tell a wonderful story. We have wonderful sustainable operations in place. And we would be happy to show them to you when you visit or when any of your guests visit. This is me. And my contact details are there as well. And obviously, you have Lois that you can contact after the show. I'm going to do the stop share now. And
I'd like to say that your property is one of the most amazing that I have seen anywhere in the world.
Thank you. It's you know, I have to say, for me, it is so rewarding meeting guests. And I love when guests say, your pictures don't do the property justice, because when I look at my pictures, I keep thinking they're not bad. so if guests think we are exceeding the expectations, I think that's a very nice compliment.
Well, the thing that the pictures don't relay is, I think, how you feel when you're there. And yeah, you can see the picture of the, you know, the lovely beach, the lovely rooms, but just that feeling, the ambiance that's there with everything, the amount of detail, the things that have been looked after by yourselves is comes through loud and clear when you do a resort tour. I got to eat at that restaurant. It was absolutely fabulous. So, you know, it really doesn't do it justice, because you can't bring that experience of how you feel when you're there.
Yeah, I could see that. So let's see if Yasha is ready to walk on Chastenay Beach with you, our young father, deliverer of my first grandchild, so to say.
Yes.
We both have a first grandchild that we're celebrating this year.
That's nice. So Yasha, right now we see, perfect. Here you
Let me
are.
see if I rotate. Okay. Hi, everybody. So I know the original plan was to walk one beach, but I thought, why don't I come to the central point and I can show you both beaches, in fact.
Wow.
So can you see my video? Pointing at here?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So just over here to the right is our scuba center, where you can get certified to be a PADI scuba diver. You have all the snorkeling right off the beach right there, but also where I'm standing here, you can just see how beautiful turquoise the water is. And all these are individual reefs that are just chock-a-block with all kinds of fish. It's just amazing. If you were to jump in right here with a snorkeling glass, you'd be amazed at what you could find. Actually, a lot of octopuses live in between the two beaches here. So it's a fantastic spot between the currents that they love to hang out in. And of course, right here, you can see Anne-Chastenay Beach with all the huts, and just above it, the Treehouse restaurant that Karolin was showing you in her slideshow. And of course, the magnificent pitons, Petit Piton, and just poking over the tip of the mountain range, Gros Piton. And to show you how big the property really is, as I turn, all this is part of the hotel. All this is accessible to you as a guest, with biking trails, hiking trails. You can scale this little mountain. This is the pathway along the shore that you can take to get to our second beach. And if you can just see right over here, this is where our second beach is. So, I mean, really, the scale of the property is so big, it's impossible to, you know, not socially distance yourself, because when you consider there's only 80 rooms for these 800 acres, everyone could carve out a little 10-acre spot for themselves and just isolate there in style.
That sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It happens naturally.
Exactly, yeah. So as Mom said, even before COVID, you know, we already were quite a romantic resort where people tended to keep to themselves, but now you just see it a little more. So everyone has their beach hut, which is about 15 feet from the next one. You have the flag service, so you don't have to go up to a counter to order everything. Everything comes to you right where you are on the beach. And I don't know if the camera's strong enough, but you can just see St. Vincent right off the tip of the point here. So the view is so good from where we are now. You can actually see the neighboring islands from the resort, which is fantastic. And actually last week, Thursday, we had a pod of 8 whales passing through. and you could actually see them from your room at Jade Mountain flipping in the Soufrière Bay, which is just absolutely spectacular, I don't have to tell you.
Incredible. Should
It is
we, that's
amazing.
really great, Yasha. Should we go on to Andreas now and see what Andreas is on top of the hillside, so you're going to get a completely different view. Andreas, are you ready for us?
I'm ready.
Good. Hi, Andreas.
Of and Jade Mountain Resorts, and I'm here in Jade Mountain. So I'm gonna turn my camera now, and voila. So we're now on the bridge of Karolin's favorite sanctuary, yes, the one with the red pool, and we are taking a glimpse at the sanctuary now. Enter through these massive wooden doors. Coming into the sanctuary, and as you already realized, our open concept here, you see this massive pool with the red pool tiles. I'm not sure if you can see it, but if you look in the pool, you can see this beautiful mother of pearl effect. So with the light shining onto the tiles, they actually change the color. And these are custom-made tiles. They are very unique and they are just stunning. And while you're in your infinity pool, you have this beautiful view of the pitons.
Look at their amazing reflection. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. So if you like to do some hiking, you can actually get all to the top of the Gros Pitot, which is that one. And I'm gonna show you now the sanctuary. So here on the side, you have your bed. And once you wake up, when you look up in the morning, that's what you see.
Wow.
You have the stunning views of the two icons here, the pitons. Once again, here's the pool, and then we'll just have a quick peek up to the bathroom, which is a little bit elevated. Then all of the 29 sanctuaries also have a jacuzzi. And again, once you're in the jacuzzi, you can sip your glass of champagne, and that's the view you're having. Isn't that spectacular?
It's absolutely amazing. I'm sure everybody listening and following along on this tour that you're giving us is really more than ready to experience something like this after the many months of lockdown.
Yeah, so now you're turning back. So here you have some of the amenities in the room, obviously coffee makers, coffee machine, as well as a wine cave where you have a small selection of wines that you can drink anytime you like. And now you go back. The rooms, each room is really different, and you see this beautiful wood which is used. Amazing architecture. And then as we walk along over the bridge, every room has its own bridge, as you can see. Each of the bridge leads to one guest room, and actually what we call them sanctuaries, and each of the bridge belongs to you, to your sanctuary. So I'm going to show you once again the views of the pitons while we're walking up to the club, which is right up here. And on top of the club, which is the Jade Club, the restaurant of Jade Mountain, is the Celestial Terrace. You can also see the beautiful vegetation all around.
We may have lost him here for a moment.
Yeah, that's okay. When he's moving, it probably doesn't pick it up the same, but the concept is certainly not lost on any of us who are watching that tour of the amazing sanctuary.
Yeah,
I can see why that one is your favorite too.
Yeah, no, and I'm not supposed to have a favorite. I have another one that I love, which is a blue tile pool, but it's sort of in the center of Jade Mountain. I just don't know what it is about it, but since every sanctuary has different shapes and pools have different shapes, I guess some speak to you more than others. So these are my two.
But from having seen a few, they are all beautiful.
Yes, they are. So Andreas, I think we. Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
I think I got disconnected.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
So
back.
Okay.
Probably has to do with how far from the,
Can you see me?
we see your screen.
Okay, I think we're back. Okay, right to the, that's great.
Sorry, can you hear me again?
Uh-huh.
Yes. So you have about 2 minutes left, Andreas. So
I
maybe
think I
just
got
a nice,
disconnected. So I hope you can hear me again.
Andreas, you have about 2 minutes left to show us the terrace.
Yeah, I'm on the terrace now.
But we lost your feed. It's Andreas. But where's the picture?
Can you see me again?
No,
Can you see me
unfortunately,
again?
no, Andreas, I'm so sorry, we can't.
We seem to have a little challenge.
Yeah, we're
Just
a
the
long way from St. Lucia, so it's understandable.
Well, Andreas, I think we've done a great job showing us the sanctuary. So as we have really filled a half hour for Lois, let's see if she has any questions for us. Thank you, Andreas.
Well, I think that that was a very, very good overview, both in your presentation and also it was an extra bonus to be able to have the walkthrough of the suite, because that gives everybody an actual, more of a visual, I guess, of what the space is like when you're inside the room and the overall amenities and so on that they can expect to have. So I really thank you today for taking the time and your team to show us the beach is always something that people are wondering about. So being able to see that there are great beach areas and the activities there is kind of one takeaway that I've learned today, how much you have in the hiking and biking and things like that. So for those active clients who want things to do while they're on their vacation, there's certainly no shortage of it there at your resorts.
No, that's one of the big pluses, I think, having all the activities. And we have two different types of guests. Some just come for the relaxation and others really partake in all of the activities that we have on offer. And I'm always surprised how many of the guests actually like to climb Gros Piton. So that's also a very popular activity, which is of course off property, but we can organize it. Well, very nice meeting you. And thank you for all those who have been listening. And we hope to welcome your clients, maybe even yourselves to St. Lucia and to Anshastne and Jade Mountain. So thank you very much, Lois.
We would love that. And we want to thank everybody for their time of listening and let everyone know that you can reach out to us for any plans. St. Lucia is a beautiful island. And of course, these two resorts that we've seen today are great choices for planning. We know everybody's comfort levels will be different of when they're ready for traveling, but whenever that is, we're ready and Jade Mountain is ready. They will be ready to welcome anybody who is interested in this as an experience that they'd like to plan going forward. So thank you again, Karolin and your team. We really appreciate your time today. And thank you so much for taking the time to share with us your little piece of paradise.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you.